Let's talk about today the elephant in the room, and it's money and the lack thereof, or does money make you happy, and is it the root of all evil? Well, I beg to differ. Some people said money can't make you happy. That's possibly true, but the lack thereof can create misery too at the same time. They say money is the root of all evil. Go back again. It's the lack of money that creates some of the evil that we see in the world today. But it's essential, I think. If you look at your life and look at some of the most important parts of your life, that money always plays a part in that. Now, there's an energy behind money. And there's an energy with life, an energy with you as it relates to things. You can feel people's energy in the room. When you walk in somewhere and you say, this doesn't feel right, that's energy, okay? So behind money, there's energy, okay? You are energy. Do you remember ever getting shocked if you touched something, you saw the little flash of light? That's energy. So if you take a cable and put on the battery, you put the positive on the negative, you'll see a spark from there because you got it on the wrong thing. So even with a battery, you have a positive and a negative, okay? So those things do work together. But outside yourself is only a positive response or a negative response in the world we live in. So we want to talk about what's on the inside, and that what creates those responses and those actions and those things behind it. Now, we're talking about money, okay? Now, this is my limited knowledge about money and my experience. So don't hold me to all of this because I'm not an expert in money. I'm trying to find out the truth about money. So bear with me in this video as we go. I want to talk about the thing that I know that I've experienced. Due to my lack of confidence growing up in life, it's kept me from being successful. It's kept money from flowing into my life. Now it has flowed out. And the reason why it has flown out because I've had some money in my life, but there were so many holes inside of me, okay? So say for instance, you got a glass and you're pouring water into that glass, but it got holes inside that glass. You would not be able to retain that water in that glass. So I had holes inside of me, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, carrying shame around, carrying guilt around, feeling sorry for myself, making excuses, okay? So that's enough damage from my childhood, things happening to me then. So there's no way that I can retain anything inside me until I fill up these holes that's inside of me. And so I've been working on that for a long time now to fill those holes up. And I think that's the most important thing, okay? We're going to get back to money. But the thing that's so important is self-confidence and self-belief. To me, that is true wealth, okay? We hear a lot of people say, we know a lot of rich folks, they're miserable and they're not happy, they kill themselves, things of that nature, okay? And we don't know why, because I'm not in their personal life as to see what's wrong with their lives and why they kill themselves. But I would vouch to say maybe they were unhappy with self. After having all that wealth, being around successful people, having all the things in life that you can possibly even imagine, they still wasn't happy with self, okay? People getting on drugs and things of that nature that at that level, and you wonder why you got so much in life, why would you ruin your life with drugs? They weren't happy with themselves. And the only thing that money does, it just magnifies what's going wrong on the inside. So true wealth, if you ever want to create any wealth, you must start with self first. You got to heal and fill those holes and those wounds that are inside first, because you won't retain any wealth. Now, money, like I said, it is a energy, okay? It can come and it can go. But when money is not there, or when money is there, you still have to be able to be happy with who you are. I'm going to always say that that's the most critical thing in life, finding yourself, knowing that self, and making that priority more than anything too, okay? So that's always at my top of my level. These are the reason why I do these videos. That's the reason why I named it Stop Smelling Someone Else's Shit, because I want you to do your own thing and find your own happiness. Nothing above that is greater than finding your own happiness and being able to be yourself, okay? But we're going to talk about money. Money, we need it. People say it's not important, okay? But it affects the most important parts of your life. I think what's happening in the world we live in today, there's no sense of urgency, I think, as it relates to trying to create wealth in the communities that we live in. We can't count on jobs anymore to try to help us find some stability and be safe and be financially free. We're living from paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans are, okay? So we got to find out what's the truth about wealth and how to create wealth and how to sustain it once we get it, okay? You can get the wealth, but how can you keep the wealth? That's going to be the most important part. How can we keep the money that we get? So I think that should be a state of an emergency. I think that should be a catastrophic 1,000% storm out there as it relates to money and education around money. It's not being taught in schools. We don't see it nowhere else. It's only a few percentage of people that have it. We got to figure out how we can get wealth back to the masses or the majority of people so that we can create a balance and so people can go on to be great entrepreneurs and have better lives. I'm not saying it's everything, but it plays a part. We got to stop being so religious and so spiritual that we don't realize that we need money here on earth in order to survive and to make it, okay? Now, there are things we have to do here on earth. You can't pray that a remote works in your battery to your garage and think that's going to make the garage door open work. No, you may just need a battery or the damn garage door is actually broken. We just need to get that fixed. So what cripples us is when we pray, most cases, in some cases, that we don't have the resources to get those things fixed. So when you got the money, if that garage door breaks down or whatever, oh, I got the money, don't worry about it. Let's call somebody out there and see what it's going to cost to get it fixed. You don't even have to pray for it because the money is there, okay? And I want y'all to look up one word, and it's called spiritualities, okay? I'm going to be a little bit everywhere. Look into that word. Dive deep now. Don't just read the first thing you see. Spiritualities, you look that word up, it has something to do with property. And they talk about property owned by the church, okay? So spiritualities has to do with property when you look at it. So if you got properties, part of creating some wealth, there's something spiritual about creating wealth and having some properties. So these are the things that are important, or some of the things we want to look at too, and looking at money. But we have to find a way to learn the truth about money. I've been on a quest to figure it out. Reason why, because I grew up poor and broke. I didn't have any. Grew up with 12 sisters and brothers, and we still don't have money to this day. And it's something that's always plagued me. But as a child, I knew something was different, and it had to be something more to life. So community, I'm asking you, if you can respond back to this, and let's start the conversation about how we can create wealth and create a sense of urgency around wealth and educating ourselves about money. It's something that we need to look into, y'all. It's a lot of money out here, and a lot of us don't have it. Only a few of us have it, the few 1% of the 5% of people that have wealth in the world. Now, if you want to understand what wealth is, we'll get into a level of wealth. Some of us think making $100,000 a year, we're making a whole lot of money. The truth of the matter is you're going to have to make 150 because they want you to take 1/3 of that money and invest that money whether it hurts you or not, and it don't bother you if you lose it or you gain. So we need to get ourselves to a point where we're making $150,000 a year, learn about wills and trusts, things of that nature, how to tax liens. It's a lot of stuff that we don't know about, a lot of stuff that I don't know about. So we got to find out how we can educate ourselves. And my challenge to me is figuring out how to educate ourselves about money. Let's go back. The most important thing for me, though, in this message, if you don't get nothing else, is stop smelling someone else's shit. Find out what makes you happy and make you your highest and best self. And let's do that until we fix the holes inside of us, okay? Speaking from my experiences, we can't create any happiness, any wealth, and any mental happiness, and that's key. Mental happiness is key. Self-confidence is, I believe, is everything. If I had to sell somebody something or can inject somebody with something, it'll be confidence, because it's critical, because it's cost me so much money and so much everything in life, so many opportunities, because I didn't have the self-belief. It was nothing but self-doubt, self-talk, all the negative things that I carried inside my head, carrying shame around, guilt. The world will try to make you feel bad, and you don't need yourself to make you feel bad. So don't carry those negative things around as virtues, y'all. We some wonderful, the best creation God ever made is us, you, myself, and we got to believe that. We got to change the way we think, y'all. Change the way we think. We got to challenge ourselves to change the narrative and let go of that inner dialogue that's keeping us from being our highest and best selves. That commentary that we hear on a regular basis when we by ourselves, we got to change that to something positive. Y'all, the world is real. Energy is real, okay? It is real. I can't stress to you enough. Please pay attention to energy, y'all. It is critical. I gave you an example, like when you touch something, you say you got shocked. That's energy coming from your body. You're made up of energy, okay? It's energy. You can't not see it because we're caught up in this physical body and this mind of ours on that, but your body is energy. It is energy. The world is energy. It's true. Go back again. Have you ever asked yourself, you walk in a room, you say something just don't feel right? It's a feeling. You can't read those people's mind. You don't know what's wrong with those people. If you got a spouse or a friend or a child or somebody say, what's wrong with you? You felt that person's energy, okay? That's what you felt. You didn't read that person's mind. You felt that person's energy because you are energy and we are energy. Just to sum it up, I named the title of this thing, Stop Smelling Someone Else's Shit, because I think it's important that we own ourselves, own our own ideas. Don't let anybody's voice be louder than ours. That's what I continue to pound in. I would like to one day make this a TED Talk and get it out to the world so we can try to teach people to smell their own shit and do their own thing and find what makes them happy And then, as I said, as it relates to money, y'all, money is an energy. It's important. It's not everything, but we need it to survive here on earth. And let's figure out what the truth is about money so we can create wealth. Wealth is here. There is no shortage of money in the world that we live in. Nothing. I don't know who sold us on that idea, but there's no such thing as shortage of money. Y'all, I hope y'all like this video. Give me your feedback, whether it's positive or negative. It still creates energy, okay? That battery in your car needs that battery to have a negative cable and a positive cable. So some people get mad when people give them negative response back. It's good because you need both, because you're made up of both positive and negative, okay? Outside yourself, like I said, is either you high or you low. That's one thing. But within inside of you, there is a positive time and a negative time. I have good thoughts, I have bad thoughts. Doesn't define me if I have a negative thought. It's okay. If you put your battery in your car, you make both of them positive, that car won't start. If you put that battery in that car and make both of them negative, it won't start. So it needs each other. So there's a healthy balance between positive and negative. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm going to set it up again where I come back and have different topics that we talk about centered around money. Not as the main thing, don't get me wrong, but the most important thing, let me drive it home. And lastly, it's about self. Love self. Trust self. Mental happiness is the best thing in the world. Find out how to feed that mental happiness, and keep in mind you are energy, okay? You can change your moods, you can change everything. You can make yourself feel good based on how you change the way you think. It is everything.